Nahali. Folytatjuk a Dragon Age Origins-t, ahol délután este felé abba hagytuk. Ugye ott tartottunk, hogy letáboroztunk ugye, a srácokkal, és beszélgettünk. Egyelőre Alistairről beszéltünk csak, mert vele elég sok minden volt, amit meg kellett beszélnünk. És haladjunk tovább szerintem. Úgyhogy el is indítom. Aztán meglátjuk, meddig jutunk. Remélem megoldódott a crash, ami volt. Jézus, de magas vagy először. Jó, én meg egy jelenetnek. Na, Zevrannal például meg sosem beszélgettünk.
Here I am.
Ez egy kitűnő alkalom. Válaszolnál néhány kérdésre?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Mi kell ahhoz, hogy valaki orgyilkossá váljon?
Well, the crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training. The sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is a desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field.
Nem kell hozzá valamilyen különleges jártasság?
I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler.
Ez hasznos tudománynak tűnik.
See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we?
Alistair is itt elárulja a nagy templár titkokat, ő is a Zevran és a holló titkokat.
Here I am.
Meg tudod tanítani valakinek, hogyan lehet orgyilkos?
Oh, I certainly could, but I won't. I swore to the crows that the things they taught me were to remain a secret. And while, yes, they are already angry at me, I'd rather not push things, you see.
Hát rendben, akkor tiszteletben tartom a fogadalmad.
If you are truly insistent, well, let me think about it. The crows are already angry at me, yes? Who knows?
Ajándékokat majd le kell adogatni nekik.
Here I am.
Akkor válaszolnál néhány kérdésre?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Igazából miért akarod otthagyni a hollókat?
Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin after all is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
Yeah. De mihez volna inkább kedved?
Now that you mention it, I am not entirely certain. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
És működik ez a rendszer?
Of course. You compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
Hát ezt nem értem.
As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
Hollók időben nem bukkannak a nyomodra?
Eventually can be a very, very long time if one plays one's cards right. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so. Here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Élvezed, hogy orgyilkos vagy?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You're respected, you're feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
Sosem öltél ártatlan?
Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent? But if you're talking generalities, such as children and relatives and bystanders and such, never on purpose. But it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease, or a fall down the stairs, or at the hands of a darkspawn. It's all relative in the end.
Hát talán igaz.
Death happens, as we like to say, and when I get paid for it, death happens more often. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
Hát én annyira eszemélem.
It is not pleasure per se, nothing sexual. It is more a sense of satisfaction, a feeling of power. Does that make sense? No matter. There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules, oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
Hát miért ne? Azt teszem, amit csak akar.
Whereas I am content merely doing what I happen to be good at. It's a talent that not many come by honestly. I don't see why I need not pursue it. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them. Here I am.
Válaszol még valamire, vajon?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Ja igen, Antiváról nem kérdezték meg.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
Nem szeretnél visszamenni?
It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go. At least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
What? Nem, én nem egy ragyogkőben születtem.
No? That is too bad. If you were, then surely you would spend as much time boasting about it as I do. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
Ez valamiféle eufémia.
It may as well be. But not this once, no. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
Mit beszélsz, mint 1000 éve nem éltél volna otthon?
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather, perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
Latina még mindig ott vár.
True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a beautiful Grey Warden, a woman who then spares my life? I could not.
Hídele.
I say you are beautiful because it is true. Should I not?
Hát itt csak nemleges válaszom van.
As you wish. I apologize. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
Nem vagyunk vele valami jóba.
Here I am. I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
I don't yet want the crows to actively hunt me, you see. Maybe later. Here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. Here I am.
Szeretnék megbeszélni veled egy személyes ügyet.
Oh, this should be good. What would you like to discuss?
De fontos. Jó, Zevran kész. Liliana, kardod meg a nőrülve.
Did you always live in an alienage? Was it very terrible?
Mire
I
gondolsz?
have never been to the Denerim alienage, but I hear that life is hard and there is so much squalor. In Orlais, most elven servants live in the homes of their masters, often in great wealth and luxury.
Ha élek szabadon nyomorban, mint a rabszolga legyek.
They are serfs. There is no slavery in Orlais.
Értem.
Elven servants are well compensated for their services. Some of them live richer lives than humans. A well-trained elven servant is highly valued in Orlais. They are nimble and dexterous, and many people find them pleasing to look at.
Na jó van. Szóval fel kellene magam ajánlani valami orlét, nem nemesnek.
No, I did not mean it that way. Oh, my words were clumsily chosen. I did not mean to offend.
Nagyon rájátszunk az R betűs kártyára. Most mondhatnánk azt is, mert nem látjátok, hogy nem csak elfogyok, hanem egy egyén is. Úristen! Bocsánat, Kiri is elfogadva.
Thank you. You have given me a lot to think about.
Igazából Liliana, csak Moriennel kéne beszélnünk. A többiek most annyira nem érdekel. Kéne mindenkivel, de Morgannek kíváncsi vagyok, könyvet megoldottál.
What do you wish of me? If you must.
Látott már rád az egyház?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
Tényleg nem volt gond velük?
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait, a little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Igen. Lemet csaliként használ.
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Még mindig azt hiszed, hogy szórakoztató volt?
I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think that it was necessary. There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
Hát lehet, hogy igazad van.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand. What do you wish of me? If you must. By others, do you mean yourself?
Megint megkérdezik az alakváltást. De Windra is. Ja, mondjuk az múltkor is az volt. Hát, ja, fontolóra veszem.
Then I shall teach you what I can whenever we are in camp, provided you have the will to even make the attempt, that is. What do you wish of me? We are
Személyes?
in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Ennyi. Hát jó. Megsimítjuk a kutyut. Odaadjuk az ajándéktemeket magunknak.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
A szándék a lényeg, jót akar.
The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
Hallottad itt múltkor, igen.
I don't want it, you worthless furbag.
Szegény kutya. Szerintem megbántottad.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
Szegény kutya. Mindenki csak bántja. Ez azért túlzás.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Megfürdetni nem elég intened a botoddal, hogy tisztává varázsolsz?
You know that's not what we use magic for. Just make him sleep over on the other side of the camp. With Alistair. With any luck, that will keep all the stench confined to one small area.
Jó van, figyeljük őket.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Na jó. Nem. Inventory. Utána akartam nézni, hogy kinek mit érdemes adni, de...
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Azt izének. Gavránnak.
You have excellent taste.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
Mire jó azok? Honnan szedtük össze ezt a kulcsot? Nem rémlik, de... De most meg nem mondom. Nem mindegy, haladjunk tovább.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Erre kéne menni a karavánhoz. Verjük szét azokat az éjfagyokat. Na, Alistair, amíg rajta van az a... Most menjen innen. Na, maradj ott. Maradj ott.
It is begun.
Nem kellnek a negatív
As you
buffjai.
say.
Itt van buffjai.
It shall be done.
Jó, körbenézünk.
I shall do it.
Ez ennyi.
Very well.
Menjünk a brazíliai erdőbe. Hát persze.
We must not exhaust our supplies.
Okay, done with you now.
Now the fun part.
Must fight. Let us another corpse for the pile.
Nevrám szintet lépett. Helyes.
Stop your drooling and save some dignity, fool. There is no glory in bloodshed.
Nem szép dolog egyébként így támadni.
It shall be done. It is begun.
Igazából nem emeltettem be, hogy automatikusan lépjen szintet. Ki mondta neked, hogy menj előre?
Very well.
A helyen volt az előző küldés, ahonnan azt a kulcsot összeszedtük. Talán az a kulcs volt az. Ott még idébe is el kell mennünk. Tartokat. Mindegy, meg
Hold,
Daenerys
outsider. You may be of my kind, but you are not Dalish. Why are you here?
Vezetőtökkel akarok beszélni.
And what business is that?
Szürke kamarás vagyok.
That is not a lie that many would attempt. I will bring you to the Keeper then, and he can decide if your business is worthwhile.
Ti a lájkot.
I see we have guests. Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
This one claims to be a Grey Warden and wishes to speak with the clan. I thought it best to leave the
Ti a
decision to you.
lájkot.
That was wise of you. Masirinus, Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan, its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
Jó, örvendek a
If
találkozásnak.
you came to bring news of the Blight in the south, it is not needed. I had already sensed its corruption. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not.
Yes, it seems like you've had your own troubles. What are the odds?
I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we
No,
made.
no. No,
This will
no.
require some explanation. Please, follow me.
Jó állapotban vagytok.
The clan came to the Brazilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us, and though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped, but we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
Hát na. Miért támadtak rátok azok a bestiák?
They are savage and unrelenting. They need no reason to attack anyone. What is curious, however, is the ambush. We expect werewolves to be no more cunning than a rabid wolf. The ambush suggests a level of intelligence we've never seen before.
Trámot, hogy segítünk?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself, and that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
Egy vérfarkasról beszélsz, ha jól értem.
No, but it is the one who made these werewolves come to be. Within the Brazilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.